welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where we'll be talking about, well, I suppose we'll be talking about more about my birthday sort of celebrations I had on Sunday, because, you know, I talked about it a little bit. That's why Sunday's episode was pre-recorded, that I was going out with a few friends. It was honestly a very lovely time. We went to a Korean restaurant and we had a lot of Korean food. Way too much Korean food, and you know, I got a receipt here. And, you know, I'm not even gonna tell you how much it was. Okay, it wasn't like excessive. There were 6 of us, but it was still quite a lot, I would say. So we were stuffed. We went to look around a museum in London, and then went to go see a play called The Play That Goes Wrong, which is honestly a very fun play. And there's lots of things to basically talk about, you know, that I've had left over since my birthday, so we'll get onto that in a sec. So good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 8:21 p.m. on Monday, September 5th, 2022. Yeah, so there's obviously a lot to talk about because it was my birthday, and then it was the Happy in Paradise weekend, so I didn't actually end up talking about my birthday much. But I don't really know where to start. Should we start with my actual birthday itself, where, you know, it wasn't the most like exciting thing that ever happened, you know, but my friends did come around later in the evening to give a present. And, you know, I mentioned it before about this group, us group of friends, for whatever reason we do like really weird, not weird gifts, but we like create gifts for each other on each of our birthdays and give them to each other. This year my friends decided to give decided to make plushies. I think I mentioned this on one of our Happy in Paradise episodes, I don't really remember, but they made plushies. I'm not going to talk about that today, because the main gift I actually got, like, that was obviously the handicraft gifts. They didn't get me just like some really cheap plushies or anything. They generally put a lot of effort into them, because I don't think any of them sewed before, but obviously, you know, one of the kits is like a needle felting kit, and the other one, the other thing is just, I don't know if it's a sewing kit or if they just bought materials or whatever, but the main thing they got me is this, which, what button should I press? You didn't hear me for a second there. That's because I muted my microphone. You're not going to hear Animal Crossing, because muted the sound there for a second. I can even pause the recording just like this. Because my friends actually got me a stream deck, like an Elgato stream deck. It is a mini one. It's the 6-button one, but honestly 6 buttons is kind of all you really need. And if you really need more, you can actually add like additional menus on, which obviously, you know, if anything, is much more enticing. It's much more enticing for me to start streaming. I've also got I've already shown you 3 of the buttons. I've not. You don't really need to program anything into it, because everyone's made the widgets for you, but I've got an OBS mic mute, I've got an OBS sound mute, I've got an OBS pause, which I actually forgot to label, so, you know, I'll bring up the software right now, and if you just quickly title it, OBS pause, Pais, as I spelt it. I don't know why it's in the middle of a thing. You can't actually see it, which is, you know, it's not really that big a deal, but I can see it on my little screen in front of me. It's basically like 6 tiny screens on a thing connected to my computer, and, you know, it's very useful to help people streaming. Obviously, it's not the biggest deal in the world to have it, just, you know, be able to mute out a push of a button, or definitely out pushing that button, because on Discord or on OBS, because I already got that on, well, I don't really have that, but the most important one I have is to mute myself, which I use scroll lock for on my own keyboard. So it's not really that big a deal. And you can obviously rebind these, but eventually you're going to like run out of like space on your keyboard, or you're going to get clashes of exactly, you know, like conflicting, not interests, but conflict over like, you know, pigeonhole principle. There's going to be too many like sort of actions you need done and not enough space on your keyboard. And really where it comes to shine is when you start streaming, not necessarily you in particular, but you can start streaming, and then you'll be able to use these buttons to have like pre-prepared like screen transitions and things like that. Obviously I haven't started streaming and I haven't made any screen transitions or anything like that, but I also talked about the fact that because I was making a VTuber avatar, I was trying to animate one. I forgot what I was going to say about this. I was going to make a VTuber avatar and animate it. Oh, a thing you can do is you can make it like pull different emotions and have like preset animations, which I think would be really fun to put onto a stream deck. But I have set up one streaming thing, which you can see like this. Boom. So obviously that's just meant to be like a sort of like a hold screen, a pause screen, like before I start screaming I could just like press that button, bring it up, and then like press it down when I'm starting streaming. If I need to pause or something, just be like, you know, I can mute myself, bring up that thing as well, and then it's all completely good, you know, just like have it be a hold screen, etc, etc. It's just like a very convenient screen transition. That's the only other one I've set up, and I had to put it on a second page because otherwise it's too many sort of things going at once. I think actually Did I just mute myself on Discord? I don't know. No, I didn't. Okay, doesn't really matter. I'm not on Discord anyway. So yes, the stream deck's actually pretty convenient, and it was pretty cool because it's so incredibly easy to even set up. Like, I don't mean to be like a shill for Elgato, but you know, I have been using an Elgato capture card for like the past 3 years. So, well, it's not been 3 years yet, but you know what I mean, past 2 years. And it hasn't failed me yet, and it's honestly been pretty good. And well, I mean, you can see the results of it yourself. You can see the video I'm recording right now, and having a stream deck to go alongside it, you know, I suppose brand loyalty or something, being able to have a mic, and it's just very convenient, just being able to push a button just like that. You know, I need to cough. Don't need to sort of like finagle on my keyboard, find my scroll lock key. It's very easy directly in front of me, and I have a visual indicator being right in front of me, being like, yes, you're muted, no, you're not muted. So yeah, it's honestly, you know, it's actually one of the perfect gifts. So kudos to my friends for buying it, because usually I feel like I'm quite difficult to buy gifts for, because obviously I quite like practical things, you know. You had to buy a gift which is a good balance of both being very practical, so I will actually end up using it, and you know, tailored to me in a certain degree. You know, I'm not going to say I'm quite, well, maybe I'm quite a bit picky or something like that, but well, I'm not picky with food or anything, but when it comes to gifts or whatever, I have very specific tastes about sort of things I like. So you want to buy me like a certain piece of equipment, well, you know, like I'm trying to give an example. If you want to buy me a keyboard, well, you probably, if you don't know me extremely well, you wouldn't know that, oh, okay, I really like silent keyboards. I don't really care about much of the mechanicalness of it. But, you know, having a nice little click is okay, but it's not like a deal breaker. I'd much rather have like a cushy, not a cushy, but a very quiet keyboard instead, where I push a button and you can basically never even hear it. Had to cough in, you know, I had to just sort of train my reaction to make sure I actually get used to using a stream deck rather than actually just like muting myself using scroll lock, because, you know, it's better get used to it while it's here. Especially because I put so many more functionalities in it. What? We don't know a decay tree? What? Huh? What? Wait, but I thought we put a load of decay trees around the haunted area. Isn't that the same thing? Is that different? Maybe that's different. Oh, you know, it's probably like, this one's a bit small. No, hold on. They're both 2x2. I don't know what the difference is. The decay tree looks... Wait, maybe we didn't put decay trees about the place. Oh, we only put spooky trees. We never put I didn't know. I was wondering. Oh, it must have been a Happy in Paradise customization we put decay trees about. Because I feel like I remember doing it, being like, why didn't I put that around Fawnhollow? We apparently just literally never had a recipe. So yeah, the stream deck's quite convenient. I don't really know what else to do with it yet, because I haven't started streaming. And you might be like, when are you going to start streaming, dear darling? I'm going to start streaming when I finish my VTuber avatar, but, you know, obviously I've been a bit busy recently, so it's a bit hard to finish it off entirely. But, I mean, it's basically, it's all drawn, it just hasn't been shaded. And it hasn't obviously been rigged, which is presumably the time-consuming part. Maybe I'll give it a go this weekend. I don't really know. But once that's done, then I will start streaming. I'm not going to stream very often because I'm obviously busy in mornings to afternoons a lot of time. I will probably only be streaming on like Saturday evenings, maybe Sunday, not necessarily Saturday, Sunday evenings, but maybe like Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoons, or that sort of thing. The difficulty is I also need to sort of balance it with YouTube recording as well. Because every single day, obviously, I do an Animal Crossing recording and I do a Let's Play recording. So I also need to find time to do those sort of recordings. Like after I record this, I'm going to record some on Mori, but you know, it's also going to be like 10 PM or something. I can't. Not every day am I going to be able to do that, which is, you know, if I don't have a backlog, it's going to be a bit difficult. So it might be the case that one of the YouTube series is going to be replaced by the Twitch series, like VODs or something. Or I don't know exactly how it's going to work out in my head, because it's quite difficult balancing both Twitch and YouTube. But I want to have some sort of loyalty to YouTube, because that's obviously where I started. I just can't commit, obviously, all my time to streaming because it's not a financial venture, I'd say. But, you know, if it turns into one, then, you know, we can start considering it. But for now, probably what streams are going to be Saturday, Sunday. Maybe I will do one on the evening on, like, a Friday or something, or on a Wednesday. I don't know. It feels like if anything, I should try and get one streaming on Tuesday. But, you know, like Tuesday evening, that sort of thing. But basically, can I sort of finesse the timings, so to speak, and I think it will be highly dependent. So it'll basically be, once I get in a streaming schedule, it'll basically be Saturday afternoon will be like a guarantee, or morning, depending on how it may be. Accident, I use scroll logger instead of using my Stream Deck. It'll basically be Saturday will probably be the guaranteed slot, unless I'm with my friends being like, hey, we should do something, and maybe it won't be. Sunday will be a likely slot, and then there'll be a maybe slot, maybe on like Tuesday evening or something, on Wednesday evening. I don't know. One of those evenings will. Probably Wednesday evening. I'll probably. As long as I have a big enough backlog, I will probably try and do Wednesday and Saturday evenings and maybe Sundays. But it's nice to give yourself like an actual proper weekend. Like, as much as I like streaming, if I start having it as a regular sort of schedule, it's gonna become a job essentially. Well, it's not even a job because you don't get paid. It's just a hobby that I've really committed a lot of time to. So yeah, but Stream Deck is a nice sort of thing in preparation. I don't really know what to put for the other things. Like, I obviously have, you can actually see me, Animal Crossing thumbnail art and all its glory now with that. I obviously have that, which is going to be the sort of the pause screen, the hold screen. I guess I can have like an intro screen, an end screen. I don't know what these other two buttons should be, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I could just duplicate like mute microphone or something. Can you hear the tactile press of a button though? Pop. It's surprisingly satisfying, and the way I described it is absolutely like the most insane way to describe the Stream Deck thing. The buttons is I had this, it's not even at all like this, which is why I don't know why I described it when my friends first gave it to me. But I had this game, it was Toys R Us game back in, I can't remember. Well, I must have been like a preteen or something. It was I think it was called Optics. It was basically some sort of memory game. There was a load of squares which lit up all around the board, and you press the squares. It was basically sort of like a Simon Says. Not Simon Says like the people game, that's not how you describe it. But Simon Says the light game, the red, yellow, green, blue buttons. It's kind of basically that. It would be like you press a button, all the lights would light up and turn off, and then light up again. And then you had to press the button which wasn't lit up before. That's basically what you had to do. And it's very easy to play if you have any basically sense of like persistence or memory. If you have any sort of like visual persistence in your memory, then it's very easy to stare at it, and then like all flashes, and then you can immediately see which one is lit up. For some reason, this is what the Stream Deck's like buttons remind me of. Except for those buttons were hard buttons. These are like a little bit squishy buttons, So they actually remind me of something else, but I can't quite put my finger on it. It's kind of like when you're like at a public area or whatever which has a touchpad, but they don't want people directly touching a touchpad because I guess it's unhygienic, so they put like these weird sort of silicone covers over the top, which you had to sort of press the silicone covers into the buttons itself, and that's somehow better. I never really understood why they had those sort of covers in the first place, but I don't know, so some places have them. Not that I can really name them off the top of my head, but there you go. Anyway. You can basically tell what the conversations are going to be about this entire week, because I listened to you at the beginning of this episode. It's going to be, today's going to be talking about Stream Deck, tomorrow's going to be talking about plushies and arts and crafts, the day after is going to be talking about, I don't know, Korean food or something, the day after that's going to be the VNA, and the day after, the final day, the Friday finale is going to be the play that goes wrong. By the way, really good play. But yeah, of course, today we're talking about a Stream Deck. I'm not actually sure if I should title it Stream Deck, because I think that's a copyrighted term. Let's check it out quickly. Stream Deck. I mean, it says Elgato. So I'm going to say that it's probably a copyrighted term, so I'm not going to call it a Stream Deck, because that, might get me sued or something. Oh, I pressed scroll like again, because I am not sponsored by Elgato or anything like that. I just use their products. What were you saying, Mina? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. A glass bottle glasses to pair with it. What is what's like the generic term for a Stream Deck? It's probably a generic term. I believe you can also use like your mobile phone to sort of like link with it and actually use your mobile phone as a Stream Deck. So basically, do you need a Stream Deck? I don't know. The answer is honestly probably not. I would say it's unnecessary, and if you really needed more buttons, I wouldn't get a Stream Deck necessarily. I'd probably just get like an extra one of those like sort of keyboard, not attachment things, but there's like a way you can have like an extra part to your keyboard or like macro keys on or something. To be fair, the Stream Deck's quite nice because the buttons are like little screens at the same time, which mean that you can actually sort of like, well, you can put your own little icons in, you can, you know, write text in it to say what exactly the button does instead of sort of just being like F1, F2, etc, etc. What is it? What is a Stream Deck? Like what is the actual like word to describe what it is? What's like a non-copyright word? You know, like how jacuzzis is like bubble. It's not bubble bath. It's like, you know, jet bath or something. I can't remember. It's like extra keyboard thing. Oh, tradition. Yeah. Anyway, so if it's basically if you're sort of some sort of broadcaster of something, as the Elgato website says, you'll need it because it is a thing which is used like in television and anything like that, because they need a huge amount of macros to basically press a button and be like, okay, we've got to switch to this screen transitions, switch to camera 5 on the fly, etc, etc, etc. And honestly, I guess streaming basically is kind of at now, isn't it? Streaming I don't know why I'm buying anything, to be honest. I don't know why I'm here. Streaming basically is broadcasting now. I mean, it literally is broadcasting. It's not basically is. It literally is broadcasting now. So you might as well get broadcasting-esque equipment if that's what you want. Except I guess this is more tailored to streaming software because it's the software it comes with. A lot of the packages it has already like sort of integrates with OBS, integrates with game capture if you use Elgato, which I don't, I use OBS. Then integrates with loads of other stuff depending on exactly what you want. Yeah, I know, it's quite nice. You can get like these cute little icons for it. I haven't drawn my own icons, and you know, I've also made it so it goes to sleep after 2 minutes of inactivity, which is always quite useful in a sec. What? I don't know what I'm saying. But they're showing off a lot of cool stuff on these things, but I want to know what like the actual name of a Stream Deck is. What is it called? Like LCD keys? There's no way I can call it LCD keys. What if I just say, what if I Google what is a Stream Deck? So someone's probably described that a Stream Deck is a portable LCD key panel, a small control panel. No, I wanna know what the official term is for it. What about Stream Deck other brand? Like other brands would probably have something, but they probably couldn't call it a Stream Deck. So DIY method. It's just a customizable keypad. I guess that's kind of true. Loop deck. It's just like a keyboard deck. It's got rotary dials on it. That sounds like more like a musical producer thing. Ah, it's the one I have. It's the Elgato Stream Deck Mini. I'm sure you can get a bigger one if you're a bigger streamer, but honestly, just a tiny one is more than enough for me right now because I don't really need all that many buttons. I mean, maybe when I start streaming, I'll be like, man, I really wish I had a 21 button one, so I had like all these different things which I need when, etc, etc. But you know, basically, don't worry about the equipment or whatever you have when you first start out with any sort of, well, any hobby, to be honest. I mean, it's a trap that people fall into. It's a trap I've fallen into with digital art, and especially being like, oh man, if only I had like really fancy graphics tablet or whatever, I would create digital art all the time. I'd be really good at it or whatever. It's just because I'm using pen and paper or whatever, which is pencil and paper, which is why I can't know I'm using a mouse. Nah, rubbish. I'm sorry to say, absolute rubbish. It is not the tools which maketh who you are or your own abilities. It is very much, you know, your own abilities and practice you put in. Like, you know, there's some very incredible artists. Like, I always think back to this very incredible artist who basically only worked in MS Paint and only used a mouse. And I was like, what? Very incredible. So yeah, you know, you don't need to start streaming with like a Stream Deck or anything like this. You probably don't need it, to be honest. But it's a nice luxury to have if it's something you do even more frequently. So thus you can actually have some sort of convenience with it in the first place. And anything, I think what I'd probably use it for, like, it'd be weird, I guess, to have 2 Stream Decks. Anyway, the main problem I'm having with a Stream Deck is the fact I'm running out of USB slots. Like, I have 4 USB slots in my back and 4 USB slots in front, and they're like all taken up. At the back I got my keyboard, my mouse, my webcam, which to be fair I don't really need plugged in most of the time, my webcam and my audio interface, so like my microphone and headphone interface. And then in front I've got my graphics tablet, my Steam controller, my phone charger, which is, it is charging, yes, and then I don't even know what this, now my Stream Deck. I had to unplug my graphics tablet charger, so now whenever I had to charge my graphics tablet /pen, I will have to unplug two of those things which are gracefully plugged into my computer and actually, you know, charge something else. Yeah, so I need to get like a USB hub or something at some point, or I need to get like a case with more USB slots, or motherboard or more USB slots. I don't know if that's something you can just do, but I mean, I guess a USB hub is fine. Like, just, you know, what if I just got a USB hub, plugged it on like on top of my like audio interface here, and just like plugged in all my peripherals. It's sort of like a weird daisy chain of things going on, which I can't imagine is the best way to actually go about it, but I don't really have any other alternatives. Just like, what is the generic name for a streaming deck? Generic name for stream deck. Or is Elgato like the only company who've ever made these? I mean, whatever the title of his video is called is whatever it's going to be. I mean, I might end up just calling it stream deck, to be honest. I mean, it's not like I've called things like copyrighted terms before, technically. If anything, I suppose it's under fair use. Fair use, because I'm technically reviewing the stream deck right now. I mean, I haven't had much experience with it, but it's pretty cool, I would say. And I would say, if you're not sure if you need a stream deck or not, I would download the apps, or whatever app it is on your phone, probably the same app. I assume it's a stream deck app, and you can use that and be like, that's what you need, or that's not what you need. But I'd imagine for a large majority of people, it's sort of just like you don't need this sort of thing. I quite like how sort of petite it is. It's very tiny and very like strangely portable, which I don't know if people stream like on a laptop and very often. I guess people would, but you know, I guess you might need a portable stream lap deck in that case. But you probably just get your phone. I'd imagine at that point. So drinking some water because my throat was dry. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. About it. It's just it's a cool product. I'm in favour of it thus far. I don't know how much it costs, but it was probably kind of expensive. I even went like, whoa, this is like proper expensive, ain't it? Streamlab Deck Mini. Let me check, and I was like, my friends who spent a lot of money for this. It's £70, and it was split between 3 of them, so it wasn't like, it's not insane, I would say, but it was probably on the side where I'll be like, whoa, that's a bit more expensive than I expected. Actually, it's not more expensive than I expected, but more expensive for a gift than I expected. But I suppose, you know, that's because I'm still sort of in the mindset of like, you know, when you're buying gifts for people and you buy very, not cheap gifts, but you know, like under £20. Technically, I guess if you pull like £20 together between 3 people, yeah, you kind of get that sort of pricing. Yeah. So let's just sort of plant the lily of the valley here, and we'll vibe out over at Nooks and sell some things. It's not really vibing, I suppose. It's more, you know, actually just like having a shopping trip. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. You can do your own research if you really need like a stream deck or not. It's honestly, it's crazy because it really is one of those things. I was just like, I've never really even considered buying one of these. But you know, now my friends have bought it, I'm just like, it makes perfect sense. Even though I haven't even used it all that often, I'm just like, I can see myself using it all the time, you know? Excuse me, let me mute myself. But I do need to press a button to wake it up, so maybe I shouldn't have it make it go to sleep after 2 minutes. That's probably too short. Hold on. Let's see, settings, what have I got it on? Oh, 5 minutes. Let's do 15 minutes. I can set a screensaver. I can set its brightness. I've got it turned down quite low because I'm just like, I don't need it that high in the first place. Yeah. I just got to get in the habit of using it, and then I think I will be good. I'm not really sure what else to do. What other Nookman missions can we do rather quickly now we're in just the ending part? We can craft things, we can grow some fruit trees. We'll be perfectly good. Methinks. Yeah. What was I going to say? I just keep going like, yeah, as if I'm going to like follow up with something like sort of groundbreaking, but I'm really not. Like, I don't have anything in mind. But there's only so much I can say about Stream Deck because I haven't obviously used it all that often, but it just seems like nice. And at the very least, something is very pleasing about the buttons having the sort of like the LCD screen and a little like squishy bit on top. If anything, part of me would be kind of tempted to have like an entire keyboard made out of it. Would I? Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. It's got a surprising amount of sort of like tactile feel where you had to sort of like push and push in to actually press the keycap in itself. If anything, Is it a little bit mechanical? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised though, but certainly does seem like something. Well, I'm not going to say Elgato is a gaming company, but obviously they have very game-related products in the first place, don't they? But yeah, yeah, I know Streamlabs, not Streamlabs, Stream Deck, pretty cool, is all I can say. And then I'm sure you can put like your little animations or screensaver, or I mean you can put screensavers, your little animations on the keycaps if you, I don't know, wanted to use it as probably one of the most expensive like screens ever. Actually, it's not that expensive, but it's probably not that great as a screen. Like if you wanted a screen, I guess. Oh, hello, phone. It's Google Fit being like, whoa, check you out. I don't know why it's telling me now. You know, I've been sedentary for like the past hour or something. Oh no, I wanted to turn off my Google Fit notifications, but instead I just accidentally swiped them away. Settings? I don't want to say now. How do I had to open it up in settings or something, don't I? Apps? That's not how you spell apps. Apps. Okay, let's try and find some Google Fit. Just so I can actually turn off very noisy notifications which rattle you to the core. App storage. Well, where is Google Fit? Am I blind? Okay, there it is. Okay, what? It's not even how you do notifications. Where do you do notifications? You can't just search app and it comes up. You have to search notification. Google Assistant? No, what on earth? No, notifications for specific apps. Thank you very much. Here we go. Device and app notifications. Android Auto, Pixel Launcher. Those are all fine. Not allowed. App settings. App notifications. Fit. No. Get out of here. What of these do I not need settings on? And notifications on? Probably quite a few of these, I'm gonna be honest. Don't really need a Google Photos notification. Some of these are quite useful, I'm not gonna lie. Camera? Clock? Banking app? Makes sense. Pocket Camp? Get out of here, Pocket Camp. Why on earth are you giving me notifications? I haven't played you for years. Maybe not years, but still. Google Drive? That's probably good for now. I don't need both YouTube and YouTube Studio, so I'll turn off YouTube Studio. And yeah, on that note, I think I'm just going to round off this episode here. Streamlabs Stream Deck. No, Elgato Stream Deck. Pretty cool. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscriptions, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me, Dear Darling, Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.